8:30 a.m. on the West Coast. This is early for your girl. What's good, money getters? Let's talk about how we're going to complete 2025 and stay in it to win it, I guess. That's what I want to say. Because I'm burned out. It's August. We're halfway through the year. We're more than halfway through the year. The year is almost over with. But I'm going to tell you how I'm going to reset my mind and get the momentum to finish out the year strong. I do really, really well at the beginning of the year, and I do really well at the end of the year. It's the middle, right? It's the middle. We got to get over that hump. So stick with your girl throughout this live. Um, Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about everything that is going on with our lives, right? And we're going to get real about burnout and how I'm flipping the script and reclaiming my energy and my income. Okay? Because it's always about the bag, money getters. You know, we're going to get to that money bag. We're going to get to that health and wellness bag. We're going to get to that mindset bag, that spiritual bag, our parenting bag, our relationship bag. Whatever that bag is for you, we're going to get to it. And I know by the end of this live, you will feel reinvigorated and more prepared to take on whatever comes your way, right? So let's get to it. Replay gang, thank you for watching the replay. And I hope that that this live adds something to your day or your life, right? Because we're taking it one day at a time. The race is not given to the swift, but who? The one who endures. So um, I hope this is just one of many of your tools and your tool bag that you're going to use to stay motivated and encouraged. Welcome everybody. Welcome from Thank you for coming in. Thank you for hitting the like button when you come in. And if you're new to the page, I thank you for subscribing to the channel as well. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me fine. I feel like my internet is slowing down. So please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me so that I know that my message is getting across like it needs to. Who do I have in here with me? Alien Cat, good morning. Drop a comment so that I know you're here and I can say hello to you and good morning. Okay. So again, welcome to today's live stream. As you've seen, it's about getting to the bossness of it all, right? Trying to reset from burnout. If you're experiencing burnout, if school is starting and you're not prepared for a new school year, another back to school night, you have a lot of work to do. Your desk is cluttered with one project after the other. It's time for a vacation. I know it's time for a vacation for me. Okay? I was supposed to have a vacation planned by now. Me and my daughters, aka the Barbs, we were supposed to be on somebody's beach, just maxing, relaxing, all cool, as the Fresh Prince would say. We were supposed to be chilling at least one good week out of the summer. And you know what? The summer is not over. So that mission is still on my mind. Okay? We are going to get us a piece of somebody's vacation somewhere. I don't care if the planes are falling out of the sky. I don't care whose state or whose city or whose country is flooding, whose volcanoes are erupting. We're going somewhere. It's a lot going on, right? Right, alien cat. We got to get out of here. We got because before I get to the meat and potatoes of this live, one thing that we have to know, if we're feeling burnt out, that's for a reason, right? We're feeling burnt out probably because we've been doing too much stressing, too much working, too much compromising, right? We're not feeling burnt out because we feel okay. We're feeling burnt out because we need a break from it all. So if that sounds like you need a break, you need a reset, don't feel alone because your girl feels exactly like that. Yes. But I'm excited this morning. So that's good. If you're in this live, that lets me know right now that you are taking the step, the first step to bettering your life. What does burnout look like? Emotionally, physically, and financially. Emotionally burnt out could look like you're not sleeping enough, or when you're waking up in the morning, you're tired still, you're irritable. Uh, you feel like maybe you feel depressed, maybe you feel anxious, right? Physically, you might feel like I said, like you're tired. You may be eating too much. You may not be eating enough. You may feel sick. You may feel just like your body is all out of sorts, like you don't feel well. Financially, burnout could look like you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? Hey, Kamaya, thanks for tuning in with us. How are you doing today? Now, I know that I feel burnout. For me, I feel burnt out when I'm not getting enough rest. That's usually the first indicator for me. Ordinarily, especially in this last 2 years of my life, I feel optimistic in the morning. I'm ready to read the Bible. I'm ready to take the day by storm. I'm ready to take over the world, right? So when I feel like I don't want to get out of bed or like I didn't have enough sleep, and I felt that way during the spring. I felt like I was sick and I couldn't get well. Um, if you watch me or if you've been to one of my lives or if you've been on my channel, then you are aware that I live with asthma, and um, sometimes I have a hard time with it. This spring, it's usually in the spring when during allergy seasons, I notice that I have a tougher time. But usually, if I step up my medication, I'm able to get over it. This year, I was not, and that was because I had a lot to do. My granddaughter was living with me to finish off the school year. My daughter had prom. We went to Disneyland. We went on a small mini vacay during the spring. I had another daughter. I gave her a small sweet 16. My daughter graduated. It was a lot. Plus, on top of that, I was doing my content creation. Just one thing after the other. Hey, Kenny Gaming. Thanks for tuning in, guy. I appreciate you. I guess you're a guy. I think Kenny could be a guy or a girl. Excuse me if I misgendered you, but thank you for tuning in. But yeah, guys, I was just, and then I wasn't getting enough sleep. In between all of that, I felt like I was a chauffeur for the kids. I felt like I was a cook, and I felt like I had so much going on. And then I had one project that was just looming over my head, right? And I could never really get it done. And I just felt like I was just just banging my head against the wall, trying to get things done and not really getting them done, always procrastinating. That's another way for you to know. And that's how I know if I'm not getting enough sleep and if I'm procrastinating, if I'm eating a lot because I'm tired and my mind is stressed and my body is stressed. That's how I know when I am burnt out, because one thing about me, I'm a big girl and I like to eat, but I'm not the type of girl that just eats all day and all night, right? So my weight will fluctuate at times, but my weight will stay very consistent for months on end. I'm not the type of person that gains 10 to 20 pounds. And this year, I did that. I think I gained like 15 pounds from last year until most recently. And I just recently lost that 15 pounds. Kudos to me, plus an additional 5 pounds. So I'm actually very happy about that. Um, my weight loss is fluctuating. I I felt like I lost 24 pounds, but now I kind of feel like I lost like 20. I don't know, but I'm not where I used to be. And that's when I knew, when I saw the weight creeping up, when I saw my asthma symptoms were increasing and not going away, I knew that I needed to change some things. I knew I needed to change how I was eating, and I also knew that I needed to get more rest. And I recognize that now. Like when I see that my asthma is flaring up, I can't go like I usually do. So pay attention to your health. Pay attention to your sleeping habits, your eating habits. If you find yourself eating less because you don't have as much of an appetite as you usually do, that can be a symptom of burnout. If you find yourself eating way more, that could be a symptom of coping with stress or um, other things. So always get enough sleep. I don't care what it is for any reason. I know some of these jobs, they want you to work 16-hour shifts. I know because I used to work a 16-hour shift. And they're supposed to give you 8 hours, okay, to sleep. Well, if you get off 16 after a 16-hour shift, most of the time you're not going to go straight to sleep. I did, thank God. And if you have to wake up to get ready for your morning shift, right? For the next day, you're not going to get exactly 8 hours of sleep. But thankfully, I did get 8 hours of sleep most nights when I worked. But when I would be at home with my kids, sometimes I wouldn't get that kind of sleep. And during the school year, when I have to be up early to take my kids to school, sometimes I'm not getting 8 hours of sleep. And I could if I put my cell phone away and stop working at a certain time. So we have to be very, very cognizant of how we are treating our bodies. We have to be very cognizant of how we are uh, ensuring that we keep our health on track. How do we do that? Well, we set a schedule and we make a commitment to staying disciplined. We go to sleep at a certain time every day. We wake up at a certain time every day. And I know that seems really stringent, right? That could seem, for some of us, that can seem like, whoa, that's not what I want to do at all. I do not want to go to bed and go to sleep at a certain time. I want to stay up late sometimes. And that's fine, but just know that if you are not committed to a certain sleeping style, if you're not committed to um, getting good sleep at night, then you won't feel as re energized the next day. You won't feel like you could withstand the day, the pressures of the day. So that's something that you got to reflect on as well, right? How committed are you to withstanding the pressures of the day? How prepared are you, rather? Have you eating a good breakfast? Are you eating healthy? Because that can determine how well you perform as well. If you're going to Starbucks and getting the coffee with the sugar, or if you're getting the coffee and the danishes, by midday you're going to crash out and you're going to be less apt to get your projects completed, right? So those are just things to consider when you are trying to recover from burnout and when you are trying to keep your momentum going. Taking a walk at lunch breaks, taking exercising once you get home, meal planning, all of those things will help you to be prepared for a better outcome during the week. And that's just something that we have to really think about. Also, We gotta let go of the "I can do it all" lie, because we can't do it all, and we do need help, right? So don't be hesitant to ask for help. If you're married, don't take on all the tasks, right? I don't care if you're married and you're the husband or the wife. Don't take on everything. Share in the duties of raising your children, on preparing the meals, on grocery shopping, on laundry. Delegate different things according to their age for your children. If they can do chores, if they're old enough to mess up, they're old enough to pick up. I don't care if they're 1 or 2 years old. Teach your kids how to put things away, because you're going to teach them how to take care of themselves as they get older. And there's nothing wrong with that. Kids actually like helping out, they want to help out. I know my children did most of the time. I had one kid that didn't like helping out, and she is still that way to this day, and she's 13. If she's listening, she's probably gonna be like, "Mom," but that's true. My other kids, they wanted to help out. They wanted to help cook. I was seeing little games with them, so just to make it fun, and teach them how to fold their clothes up, how to hang their clothes up, how to get dressed, just like you would teach them how to brush their teeth. You want to raise children up to be clean and to be responsible. So giving them chores is a good way to do that, especially if it's the things that they use, like if it's their shoes. Teach them how to put their shoes away. Teach them how to put their toys away. It's going to be less work for you, but it's also, like I said, teaching them independence and self care. And it also helps them to develop their self esteem, right? So that's what you want to do. And as far as your husband or your spouse is concerned, let them know that you need their help. Let them know, hey, if I get the kids down tonight, read them, give them their baths, read them a story. Can you clean up after dinner, or can you cook dinner and clean up afterwards? Like that will also give you guys more time. If you work, if you engage in teamwork, that would give you more time to spend together. If he's done cleaning up and everything's put away, and then you have the kids down for bed at a certain hour, perhaps 8 if they're down in bed, maybe you guys will have from 8 to 9:30 to have intimacy or to spend time with one another. And then you still have from 9:30, 10 to until 5 or 6 to sleep and replenish for the next day, right? So, but if it's all on you, if you're doing all of the raising of the children, all of the taking care of the house, while your husband is kind of like a on the sideline watching, right? Then you're gonna feel burnt out. Also, if your kids are younger and you're taking care of the kids at home and you're volunteering at school and your husband's working, right? It's going to be a lot if he has to come home and do a lot of the things that you should be doing if you're a stay at home mom. You should at least have dinner ready and things like that, and perhaps he could relax and spend time with the kids if you're cooking dinner or whatever. And then maybe you guys can put the kids down together and you'll clean up the kitchen afterwards. You just have to do what works for your family. But when you're a couple, when you're married, or if you live together with somebody, even if you don't have children, everything should be divided up equally. Sometimes one person may have more demands at work, or one of you may have school and work. So you got a lot of balls in the air, so that other person may have to take up some of the slack, such as doing the laundry, going grocery shopping, because you're going to school to get another degree, or you're training for another position at work. So you have to compromise when things like that occur. It's not always going to be 50-50, and it's not always going to be one person giving 100%. Sometimes it's going to be 70-30. So we make concessions for things when we want to expand and grow. Just like sometimes you may have to lose a little sleep if you want to get a degree, but you make up for it in other ways, right? If you know that you have to go to work and do your 9 to 5, and then you want to work on your business, or you want to work on getting another degree after school, then you know that you're going to be a little bit tired. But on the weekends, when you have days off from work, sleep in a little longer. You're still not going to make up for those days that you were tired because the body doesn't work up that way, right? But you can still get some sleep in and get some more rest so that you're not giving everything of yourself every day of the week. Make time to do the things that you want to do and the things that you enjoy as well. And also take a break. Take a break on your days off and actually break and don't work. Right now, I'm going 7 days a week. And of course, I'm going to feel burnt out. If you go 7 days a week and you never take a day off, guess what happens? You stop enjoying the things that you like doing. I love content creation, but I have to develop a system where I'm making content that is already banked and good to go, that I'm scheduling my content right. So on the weekends, when I feel a little tired, I can just take the whole weekend off. Or whatever 2 days I want off, I can just take them off, relax, and chill. Also, daily affirmation and journal prompts will actually help you as well. Last night I journaled before I went to bed. Um, who am I? Who are you? Who are you? What is the manifesto you have for yourself? Everyone should have a mission value statement, right? A mission and vision statement, and also values and morals as to the principles that guide you in life, right? Um, for me, that's I'm a Christian, and what I read in the Bible guides me, hands down. So I have to live according to that. If that's who I say I am, if I'm saying that I'm a Christian, then the value system that I abide by should come from the Bible. Who I am, what I do, what message do I want people whoever encounter me, when people encounter me, how do I want them to feel? What impression do I want them to leave with? Is it based on how I feel about myself, or is it based on what the world thinks of me? I really have to have that about myself and be okay with me. Whoever you are, be okay with who you are. So that's just what I wrote in my journal last night. I took my time to really be honest with myself and really reflect on who I am and what I am doing. And that's the way I am going to present myself in the world. That's the way I'm going to conduct my business and not waver from that. A lot of us waver from who we want to be and who we are striving to be to accommodate others or to people please. I don't want to be a people pleaser. And what I mean by that is I don't want to do things that I feel others will approve of. I don't want to meet the standard that others say I should meet. The standard that I would like to meet is what I read in the Bible. Am I living my life righteously? Am I doing what God expects of me? And I want to be able to recognize when I'm not doing that and fall back in line. I don't want the acceptance of the world, because what the world says is right, what the world says is okay, is not okay with God. And I know that a lot of times I have broken my own rule. I have stepped outside of that. So that's what my journal was about last night. And if you want to do that for yourself today or tonight when you get home before you go to bed, I think it's a good idea. What is your mission and vision statement for yourself? How do you want the world to see you? What message do you want to put across? How are you conducting yourself as a person, as a parent, as a professional? That matters. And I'm going to tell you this, when I fall outside of that, when I don't stay in alignment with what I want for myself, then that's when I feel burnt out as well. That's when I feel stress and strife, because I know that I'm not living according to the way, the principles that I want to live in, right? And like I said, daily affirmations. What is the thing that you tell yourself to keep you going? You have to have that. That when you didn't get that promotion, when you're trying to lose weight and it seems like you keep falling off the wagon and you keep going back to those brownies. Today, I told myself, I was like, this is what I thought, really and truly. I said, today would be a good day to have a chai tea for how I'm feeling. I think today would be a great day for chai tea. Chai tea has a lot of sugar in it, and I feel like it bothers my stomach. So chai tea would not be a good idea for me. So I told myself, find another way to deal with how you're feeling today. Find another way. And so one thing I used to do when I wanted to quit smoking is I kept telling myself, you don't smoke anymore. So now I tell myself, you don't eat unhealthy anymore. You don't eat that way anymore. You don't put junk into food into your body anymore. You eat healthy now. Will that always work? One day it may not work, but I'm still going to tell myself that. And if I eat healthy, guess what it's going to do? Eat unhealthy, it's going to trigger a response in me because I now have this new way of eating. So if procrastination is your issue, tell yourself, no, we spend our time wisely. We value our time. I value my time. Start telling yourself things that will keep you encouraged and keep you on track. You have to have that. You have to have that manifesto for yourself. I always tell myself I can do hard things. That's another thing, like when I reminded myself that this new way of eating was going to be very difficult for me because I am used to eating however I want to eat. I'm used to eating however I want to eat, and I'm used to eating whatever I want to eat. If it's 11 o'clock at night and I want to eat, fine. If it's 6 a.m., fine. I don't care what it is. I can eat leftovers, meaning I could eat greens, macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning if that's what I want to do beforehand. But now I listen to my body and ask myself, am I hungry? Am I ready to eat? And I start my day with water and end my day with water instead of reaching for a sugary drink, like such as chai tea or drinking Coke, things that keep me sluggish, keep me feeling bloated and weighed down. Okay? So think of some affirmations to tell yourself. Think of some things that you can journal about to release some of the stress and to actually get in touch with your feelings and be honest with yourself. Really dig deep and think about how you are feeling and why you are feeling the way that you are feeling. It's going to be very helpful to getting to where you want to be. And I want to say I was in survival mode for the longest time when I was working and as a single mother, I'm working and taking care of kids. I was just kind of going through the motions every day. Get up, get the kids ready, go to take them to school, go to work, come home, make dinner, ask them about homework. A lot of times we weren't even getting to homework because your girl was tired. I would just tell them to do it and hope they did it. I would try to help them as much as I could. I was tired. I was burned out. And now I don't live my life like that these days. If I feel like I'm getting tired, I'm going to get rest. If I feel like something isn't for me, I'm going to cut it out and cut it off. I'm very conscientious of who I am and how I feel these days. If I feel like, wait a minute, I just feel all out of sorts, I'm going to dig deep in my Bible and pray more. And I'm going to turn off the TV and put my phone down and stop working. And I'm going to reassess where I'm at because we have to be in touch with ourselves. If nobody else knows how we are feeling, we have to be honest enough with ourselves to say, you know what? I'm not feeling so good today. Like, I think I need a little bit more sleep. I think I need to change my diet up a little bit. I feel tired. Maybe perhaps I need more water. Perhaps I need to get out and get some sunlight and take, instead of working through my break, perhaps I need to go and take a walk for 15 minutes on my lunch break or something, right? I need to actually get up from my desk, go to my car, drive somewhere else, sit down and eat somewhere else, and get away from the job. Because a lot of us do that, right? Some of you are at work right now at your cubicle, at your office, and you're working straight through lunch. You're working all day, checking emails, taking messages, and you're not really getting a break, right? And I know you probably feel to yourself, well, I'm not working that hard. I'm just sitting at a desk. But you are, you're using your mind all day long. And that can be actually very tiring. Because at least if you were working, say, at a warehouse, you're burning energy, right? So you're being physical. And that can be taxing on your body, right? So you want to take your breaks. And 30-minute breaks are not enough. It takes you 30 minutes to warm your food up in the microwave, right? And to sit down and eat and let it digest, and then walk around and perhaps go wash your hands and use the bathroom or whatever it is you need to do. And I know some of you have only 30 minutes for lunch. Um, find you a gig where you get an hour and you get your two breaks for real, because you need at least an hour to eat. To properly eat your food and let it digest, you need at least an hour. Hell, you need two, but we're not going to go there. Let's just see if we can get to one. And that's why we always have to, you know ourselves and seek improvement. Just because you have one job and that job is burning you out, that doesn't mean that you have to stay at that job forever. Like I said, getting more training or getting another degree is going to require time. And I know you probably feeling tired. You probably feel like you don't have more time to give to another thing, but you can either stay where you're at or be a little bit more tired or have a little less free time so that you can change your lifestyle, right? So you can be uncomfortable for a year or two, or you can be uncomfortable and work for someone else and not make enough, or never have anything outside of what they give you, never start a business, never go on vacation, always only have 30 minutes for lunch. I know people who do that. I've seen people working at the same fast food restaurant for 20 years. And there's something to be said for that dedication. But at the same time, you're working at the same restaurant for 20 years. And everybody has a position and everybody has a place. But growth is also something, there's something to be said about that. And it talks about that in Proverbs 31. They talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, how she, considers a field and she buys it. Like, she's a person who uses her time wisely. She's a person who grows her money. So if you are at a place for 20 years at a fast food restaurant and now you're in your 60s, that's no good. That's no bueno. And there's nobody who could tell me that that's all that person had to offer. That's the only thing that person could do. Because if you go to work every day at one place and you're doing well at one place, another place will hire you and they will want you to come there. At least if you're going to work there that long, at least be the store manager, right? You shouldn't still be at the drive-through window. Be the manager. Otherwise, what meaning does your life have if you don't ever elevate? Elevation, elevation, elevation. Speak elevation, speak that over your life. You want to elevate, you want to grow, because that's going to burn you out. If you I couldn't be a school teacher teaching the same kids for 20, 30 years. And I know some school teachers love it and they do it. But no, not me. If I'm going to teach, For if I'm going to stay in that profession, then I need to move up to uh, vice principal. Then I need to go to principal. And then I need to go work at the college level. I don't know. Then I need to go teach other people how to teach. But I can't stay as a teacher teaching third grade for 30 years. And many people do. Many people do. And I guess that's because they love it. But how could you love that? I'm just kidding. Hey, happy birthday, girlie. I gotta put your post up, and I gotta also send you your gift. How are you doing? I know you said you were gonna go live today, so I was looking around like, did she go live already? I didn't want to miss your live. I know you have a birthday live planned, and I know your honey has something planned for you. I hope you enjoy your day. You deserve nothing but great things. You've had an excellent year. You've been grinding all year, and not only have you been grinding, yo yo, you have been supporting, you have been showing up for yourself and others. And I know that God is going to continue to bless you in all that you do. And today we're just talking about staying motivated, right? Because for me, I haven't been so motivated this last week or two, right? In June, I was really motivated, and you definitely inspired me to get motivated and do my lives. And in July, that kept going. I stayed in the game, but now August, I'm like, to heck with this stuff. I'm like, I said I was going to take a break a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't, but maybe, just maybe, I do need a break. I wanted to keep the momentum going, but this whole new lifestyle thing I'm doing with this diet, um, I'm making a lot of changes in my life right now. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see how that goes. But yes, to sum it up, I had to switch from survival mode of just work, kids, home life to taking care of me and going into knowing what was working and what was not working and changing that up. I had to change that up altogether. And I'll tell you, when I did that, my mindset improved, my stress levels decreased exponentially. I was better able to rest at night. I didn't, my sleeping issues all but went away. My anxiety issues all went away. And that's just because I learned to take care of me. And I left a job that I didn't feel fulfilled at and that I felt was just taking up all of my time away from my family and from me and what I really wanted. So I had to refocus my energy. And so I recommend that you do that as well. Thank you so much, sis. I'm good. I'm out right now, and he's pampering me. Yay! I know that's right. I know that's right. That's the stuff I miss. I do miss spending my birthdays with my boo. I do miss that. I do miss that. Um, that's another thing if you're feeling burnt out. Um, chill with your man, chill with your significant other. Like, get away, go take a break from everything and just go somewhere and vacation with your significant other. If you're not dating, get yourself out there. Get yourself out there, get dressed, and shoot. Home Depot on a Saturday is popping, ladies and gentlemen. Home Depot on a Saturday is popping. Okay, Home Depot on any day. Okay, um, go out to one of those sports bars. Go to where the men's is at, ladies. Get dressed with your girls and put on something cute, and go on a Monday night to one of these restaurants like Chili's or your Yard Houses or whatever, and put on something cute and smile and giggle. Meet some people. Get out there. Don't always be a fuddy duddy at home doing nothing, because that's going to burn you out as well. If you're just in the house all the time, if you never make time to have fun with the person that you love, or if, like I said, if you're single like me, if you don't have an opportunity to get out and date, and just enjoy life, you're going to feel burnt out. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're going to start feeling lonely. You're going to start feeling depressed. We need each other. We need friends, and we do need relationships. We do. Yes, Home Depot. Have you and your husband never been there on the weekend or any day, like when you're doing home improvements? Like I'm always at Home Depot. I haven't been at Home Depot. When's the last time I've been to Home Depot? It's been a couple of months, but I'm constantly doing home improvements and buying plants. I'm always at Home Depot buying plants. And if I get in Home Depot with some sandals on, that click clack, and a cute little dress, baby, let me tell you something. Home Depot is where it's at. And then these are men that work. So if you go early morning, you're going to go there and meet the men that are working on projects. Now be careful because a lot of times on the weekends, those are the husbands going to get some stuff to uh, to fix up their house and to make repairs at home. So you don't want to you want to watch out for wedding rings, and you want to be diligent about that. But yes, Home Depot, I highly recommend. Um, you put on some cute jeans and a cute top, and go meet you somebody at Home Depot. That's a working man at Home Depot. That's a man that is useful with his hands. And ladies, go get you some plants. If nothing else, go get you a plant. Yeah, but you're in a nail shop cracking up. I do it all the time. Like I said, be careful out there though. Don't just go out there meeting anybody. Make sure a lot of times you could, like, if you're my age, you'll see the older man too at Home Depot. Yeah, okay. The older gentlemen who are working and who are fixing things. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. um, Also develop habits that bring you peace and productivity without making you feel like you're just working, right? Make it fun. If you are somebody like me that works from home and you have projects at home, get off the Zoom meetings and see if you can meet people in um, at restaurants. There's Starbucks, right? If you work from home, sometimes take your laptop to Starbucks and work at Starbucks or wherever there's people milling about, right? I can do that a lot of times for the projects that I have. I'm a self-publishing consultant, so if I can work from anywhere, I can work from home, I can go to the park. A lot of times I'll go to Starbucks or I'll go to this tea room, and I'll drink some tea, and I will work from there. So if you work from home, change up your scenery sometimes. Don't just stay at home or stay in the same spot every day. If you have that luxury of being able to take your laptop wherever and work, do that. Um, if you can, meet people for lunch for your meetings. Just switch it up so that you're not just always hustling and bustling, or you're not spending a lot of time alone. It really helps. I know it helps me. Right. Yo says she loves working in different environments. Right. Because it breaks up the monotony of your day. With my former employer, one thing that I did like when I was working with kids at camps, we got to go outside. We would be in the dorms. We would be at the school. We would have different positions, and we wouldn't be stationary as opposed to when I worked in an office or worked at a desk. I was in that same stuffy office all day, and I would be at my desk most of the day unless I went outside and took a walk or something like that. And I think at that time I only had a 30-minute lunch break, so it wasn't like I could go anywhere, right? Maybe I could take a walk to my car or something like that, and make a phone call or something before going back inside. But I hated that. I hate working at a desk because I don't know. It just seems so. I don't know. It seemed too much like work, and I don't like that. I don't like feeling like I'm at work. I like feeling like I'm being productive. I feel like I like to feel like I'm doing something creative and exciting. I can use my mind, I can use my hands. I like being able to do different things, right? Good morning, Mom of Three. How are you doing? How is it going? I hope your day is going well for you and Jackson. Yeah, but I like being able to do all sorts of things. When I wake up in the morning, I like knowing that I have something to do, and I think about okay, and I try to think about that the day before, or on the weekend. How do I want to spend my week? What am I going to be doing? That's why I arranged all my plants in the living room because I even want to give, as a content creator, I want to give my viewers something else to look at when they see me on live. I want them to look at something different. I don't want them to always see me sitting and then like in the same stationary spot. That gets boring, right? So I like to switch it up. And I'm trying to find other places in my community to go to also do my live so that you guys can see something different, right? How can I get a mental break as a stay at home mom, wife, grandmother, raising a grandchild, and everyone always needs me, but nobody wants to help me? Oh my gosh, Dana, what an excellent question. You take that time, okay? I just spoke about that earlier. You're a stay at home mom. Um, are you married? If you are married, then you guys are both working. He's working outside of the home, you're working in the home, right? And it isn't as somebody else who wants to help you as the adult, as a team member in the family, your husband probably is the head of the family, the provider. You deserve to be able to have that carte blanche to say, hey, kids, this is what is expected of you. Um, on these days, these are my days off. This is the time that I'll take for myself. Maybe you don't have the whole day, but Saturday mornings, those are the days I'm going to go sit at Starbucks and have a coffee. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to go get my hair done. For me, getting my nails done has always felt like work, right? And it always felt like it wasn't the time I really got to relax for me. I know some people love to go get their nails done and get the massage and all of that. But for me, it felt like it was something that was a duty. So I didn't like that. But I do like um, going different places and doing different things and being able to sit and just chill and not have to do anything. So you definitely maybe get an hour in the morning before everybody wakes up where you have that time to sit and be quiet, or maybe a certain time after dinner is done, after you've helped with homework, after you've done everything else for everybody else. Okay, at 8 o'clock, we're shutting down. The kitchen is shut down. My kitchen is shut down at 7. Don't go back in my kitchen messing up. You ate dinner, whatever. By 8 o'clock, you need to be winding down. I don't know how old your grandchild is, but if they're in elementary, 7 o'clock, they need to start winding down because 8 o'clock, those eyes need to be shut. Because when they get up in the morning, you don't want to have to keep waking them up and, okay, get ready for school. Kids, listen, moms, I don't know if you know this, but your kids need 10 to 12 hours of sleep at night. 8 o'clock is not too early for your elementary and your middle school kids to go to bed. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. The younger, the earlier they need to be in bed. Everyone deserves a break. Everyone, right, Mama Three? Everyone deserves a break, and everyone deserves to be helped. If you're not just there by yourself, and I felt like that during this spring, Dana. I had my grandchild living with me, so she could finish up the school year. My daughter lives in another city, but my granddaughter was living with me to go to school. So that meant that I had, instead of the normal 3 schools that I had 4 schools to go to. And my granddaughter, she went to school even earlier than my children. So that meant that I had to be up at 5 And my granddaughter never wanted to wake up. We argued every day. I argued every day with that little hussy. Every day. Zalea is so pretty and she is so cute and she is so feisty. But that little girl is a handful. And when I tell you, these teenagers had me coming and going. And I wanted to, oof, child, please. I love my Barbies, all every last one of them. But if they didn't have me, and then Kamaria with her mess, graduating and prom, and then Robin, I'm talking. One of them need their hair done. One of them need to go get lashes done. So I've been spending the whole summer, and me and Kamaria, we're about to strangle each other trying to get her her driver's lessons in. But it seems like my child is, I don't know. Okay, it's taking her. It's rough. But I guess taking somebody from never having driven to driving, the summer is not enough. And those little 5 hours that they give them to drive is not enough at these driver schools. They need about 40 to 50 hours. And I have her logging her hours every day. Hey, Enoch, what's good? Look at you catching me in the morning. Hey, Janet, look at you early birds up and at 'em. I knew this would be a good thing for us to start doing this in the morning. I knew that. I'm catching all my peeps. I've always taken a break with my oldest two. My mom used to have them every other weekend, and with Jackson, his dad takes him almost every weekend. I know that's right. Because Jackson, listen, when I had my children, I had three little ones, and I wasn't that mom that took a break. And that probably was why I felt so burnt out. I was the type of mom that would be like, look, y'all getting on my nerves, but also I was the type of mom that was like, I ain't trusting nobody else with my kids. I don't care. Um, their dad was with another woman who I did not like, so my kids wasn't going there. And he would always say, I'll take my kids. No, you won't. Um, and my mom helped me when my kids went to when I was working. She would pick them up after school. So my mom was helping out her and my father. They would help out a lot with my kids. And I have sisters who would help. I always had a lot of help. And then my kids have older siblings too. So I would get, breaks here and there. I never felt like I was a single mom doing it on my own. I never felt like that as a mom. And I've been a mom since I was a teen. And when I only had one child, it was really like I had none. It felt like, because and the reason why I said that was because my mom and my dad helped a lot with my oldest child. Like, I would get up when I wanted to in the morning because my dad would have my daughter with the newspaper reading it, and they would be reading the paper and drinking coffee. My mom was so in love with my granddaughter, with my first child. She did everything for her. And my mom, I was a teenager. My mom was like, you're not taking this child out of this house. Uh-uh. She can't go here. She can't go there. So I'd be like, okay, well, she'd be like, put her to sleep. So I could put her to sleep and I'd be, you know, be able to do what I wanted to do. So I never felt like, oh, I'm a mom and I'm burdened with anything. When it became time for me to go to college, my mom was like, leave her here. You can go and you can go stay on campus if you want to. But that wasn't something I wanted to do as a mother because I was like, I'm not leaving my kid, right? I should have left her, but I'm joking. But I was like, no, I'm not leaving my kid. So I had my kid and I went to college and I still took her to school and things like that. And, I was going to college and she was starting school around the same time. Um, and that's kind of how I did. And I had more children later on. So my oldest daughter is a lot older than her younger siblings. But that's the way I did it. Oh, Enoch, it's your birthday too? Oh, wow. I thought you were saying happy birthday to Yo Yo Enoch. I'm sorry. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, you guys. Today is also one of my cousin's birthdays. So shout out to him. I like my cousin. He's very cool. My cousin is very cool and, uh, you know, very nonchalant. I don't know if you guys are seen that way. Thank you for the advice. I'm definitely going to try because this is truly draining. I've been raising kids for the past 40 years. My mom passed when my oldest was 2, so never had help. And that's another thing too. In my family feels like no, we help each other. My mom is always like that, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not like you. My mom is actually my mom went to school to, and she was a director. She ran daycares. That's what my mom loves. My mom loves children. I love my children, and I have a love for all children, but that is not my ministry. So when Dreamy was a baby, I loved her to death, and I still love her like crazy. But now Dreamy is starting to get her own personality. Dreamy would bring her shoes and put them on, and she'll bring me my shoes and take my hand and take me to the door like we're going outside. And I'm like, no, Dreamy, because Dreamy likes to run from me and play and want me to chase her. I can't chase you, girl. I take her to the park. Dreamy is running all on the baseball field. I'm huffing and puffing, trying to catch her, and she thinks it's so funny. Like, look, okay, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not. I don't. When I first got off work, I helped. Well, I didn't help with my daughter because I just wanted Dreamy over. I was just leaving my job, and I needed something to make me feel worthwhile. And plus, Dreamy was so cute and cuddly, and I loved her so much. I wanted her over every minute. Like one day, I'd be like, okay, I'm tired. Then I'd still be like, okay, bring her to me. And I still feel like that. Like I might call her mom and say, bring her over because I love being around her. But at the same time, honey, I'm restarting my life. I'm restarting my career. I'm on a health and wellness mission, Dana. And Dana, I am not about to be the old woman who lived in a shoe. Okay? I'm not doing it. Yeah, Jackson is so active. My mom would still help too, but I understand she's older now, so I don't burden her with watching Jackson. One weekend I was at the park with Dreamy, and it was this older couple there, and they had their little grandson, and he was on a bike. And I think he might have been 5 or 6. And I was asking them about, I was saying, well, it's fun that we can take care of our grandkids. They was like, look, we're older than you. We're in our 70s. We're tired. This is the last one. We're not doing this. The grandfather was saying, he was like, shoot, we're tired. We've been raising kids all of our lives, and now we're helping our daughter with our grandson. And that's how it is at the park. When I go to the park with Dream, like if I were to take her today, there's a lot of grandparents there with their grandkids because their kids are at work. And one day I was there, was a grandmother there, and her daughter was like, "Oh, I guess she was bringing her granddaughter to the park to do like a class." And she was like, "Well, I don't see the people here." And she was like, "No, let me get proof for you. I'm asking people." I'm like, I wish I would be telling my daughter, "Let me get some proof and prove this and that to you." Shoot, these people are off the chain with this grandkid stuff. If you're gonna have kids, and I always paid my mom to babysit. And I get on her about that. Mom, why I had to pay you to babysit? Like I shouldn't. I remember I used to help watch your kids. I did. Helped watch my siblings. And I didn't care. My siblings were older and they listened when my mom wasn't around. But I didn't ever feel like, oh, mom, you owe me for that. But I'll be honest, when I had kids, I had little ones. And my mom wasn't the type of grandparent that, okay, the kids are here. My mom would really dedicate her time to my babies, right? And my babies were spoiled. I felt like I had those babies. That was on me. But my mom, like I said, she always had a daycare and she always did childcare. So that's how my mom, that was her living, taking care of kids and being a child care provider. That's exactly what she went to school for. That's what she wanted to do. My grandmother is a teacher. We all are college educated, and we all have different paths that we took. And children was my mom's path. And kind of mine too, because I work with children as well, but just not little ones. But I never felt like, oh, my mom owed it to me to watch my kids. I really didn't feel like that. And so my mom would help out when I went to work. And then when I would work 2.5 days, she loved that because she could have them for those 2.5 days. And the other 4.5 days was her time. And then I wasn't asking people on my 4.5 days off, oh, could you help with my kids? Those are my kids. But like I said, everybody does need time and time away and things like that. But grandparents, they should have the ability to have that freedom. But I know in the world that we live in, a lot of people are, you know, perhaps your child is no longer here. Perhaps your child is working. It could be any number of reasons. And I won't place a judgment on why a grandparent has their child. And if you have to take in your grandkid, if I had to take in Dreamy, I have to take her in. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to take her in. I have to take her in. For whatever reason should arise, I would take in my grandkids. But that would be so hard for me. I know that's right. We blessed to see it, all the things we as people take for granted. Hey, Crystal's World. How are you doing this morning? Yes, today is definitely a beautiful day for you all celebrating your birthdays. Thank you, Enoch. I hope you enjoy your birthday. Have an excellent day. I hope you are going to celebrate today with loved ones. And I hope you have a piece of cake. For me, because I'm not eating cake right now, you and Yo Yo. Hey, Daily Sis with Jazzy J. How are you doing today? What's good with you? And yes, please hit my like button if you haven't hit my like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel as well. I think I said hello to everybody. Enoch, you're 52? Yes, Leos are lit. You guys are real and loyal. I get that sense. I do. I do get that sense. You're gonna eat some cake for me? What kind of cake are you eating, Yo Yo? I like red velvet. I like I like uh I like lemon cake with lemon frosting. Caramel cake. I love caramel cake. Oh my gosh. I should go make a cake. Oh my gosh, you guys do not know how bad I want a piece of cake or a cupcake. No, I'm just playing. But when I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I don't think I have any cravings right now. I just think about the food I used to eat, but I don't have any cravings. I think I could go another month without cheating on my new lifestyle. And I won't call it cheating. I would just call it having something different, right? Because I think for me, this is something I want to do forever. So I will eventually have sweets and things like that because that's just like pragmatic. Who wants to go their whole life and never eat cake or never have ice cream? Like, that's crazy. But when I do eat like that again, when I do introduce some of those type of foods back into my diet, I don't want it to be where I can't just be satisfied with one piece of cake or I have to have a cupcake every day because that's the way it was for me. Like, really, cookies and ice cream every day. And I just want to be able to enjoy whatever I'm doing in moderation and just be able to have control. You have red velvet for your tea and cake. Oh, that's right. Ooh, strawberry shortcake with candy dip. You know what, Yo Yo? You better stop playing. Oh my gosh. Now that's what I call. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's your birthday. I'm not even gonna do it. But you already know what I was about to say. I gotta do it. I gotta do it, guys. Now that's what I call a good time. Yo, I hope you slice a piece and at least show it to me. Let me see the cake. Happy birthday, yo, for real, for real. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to your husband. That's what's up. Um, so boss mode activation. We went through routines that help you stay consistent and not exhausted. I talked about that earlier about scheduling your time and mapping out how you want to spend your day. Perhaps you do that on the Friday before or the Sunday night before. Set your schedule so that you are able to create a life that will suit you, that will, where you're not just winging it. Because I know for me, if I just wing it, then I forget to do certain things or I don't get everything that I want to do done. So try to create a schedule for yourself that you can stick by, and also map out a time where you're not just working all day and then going to bed. Have a cutoff, have a start time and a cutoff. For you, Dana, that's really going to be helpful because if you have a schedule for yourself, especially as school starts, I don't know how old your grandchild is, but if you have a certain dinner time and a bath time and a bedtime, then you can have those hours in the evening for yourself, right? And then you can still get enough sleep and wake up in the morning refreshed and ready to take on the day. Sleep is going to be so important for you all who are working so that you don't feel burnt out. Use apps, planners, schedule your calendars and your phone so you get uh, so that you're aware of what your schedule is looking like for the week. If you're a content creator, schedule some of that content so that you're not doing it every single day. So even if you don't want to go live one day, you still have content for your audience. If you're a mom and a stay-at-home mom like Dana, freeze some meals. Freeze you some spaghetti, freeze you a lasagna. Uh my mama told me you can freeze everything. So freeze that food. Okay? Make you a bunch of meals that you can freeze. Have some apples and oranges that you can cut up for those kids when they come home from school. Give them a sandwich. Have a cup of noodle. I don't care. Whatever it's gonna take so you don't have to be in that kitchen slaving all day. Do that. Fry you up some chicken. Okay? Get some stuff so those kids can make their own pizza. Get some cold cuts so they can make their own sandwiches and grab a bag of chips and a Capri Sun and go sit down somewhere and be quiet. Okay? And utilize those tablets. That's what they're for. Put a tab. No, I'm just playing. Get them a book. Get them a book or something. Something that can quick keep them quiet. When my daughter, Kiara's my second daughter. And I remember Kiara used to like to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So I got her coloring books and crayons. I don't think we had all the tablets and cell phones and stuff like we do now. Maybe we had tablets, I don't know, but everybody was just starting to use cell phones at that time. So what I would do is, and plus I probably didn't want her on a tablet all day in either way. Kiara was really smart. All my kids were because I really worked with them, teaching them to read and spending a lot of time with them. And I would have her sit down and color. Give your kids a coloring sheet and some crayons and let them go to town. Let them color up that whole book if they're around the ages of 4 or 5. Hopefully they won't ask you to color with them, but sit them down at their desk and let them color. Tell them to write a story, whatever that's going to give you 20, 30 minutes of quiet time. Do that. Girl, he said he gonna feed you on live. I want to see that. I want to see that, yo yo. Let him do it. Oh my gosh, that is gonna be so cute. You said no, you grown. No, let him feed you. What's wrong with your husband? Slicing the cake. Sakias, I don't know if you guys know who Sakias is on TikTok, but she had a cheesecake and she ate her cheesecake on live with her husband. So I would like to see you do that, yo yo. I would like to see I would like to see your husband slice you a piece of cake, take the fork, and give you a bite on live. That's gonna be so cute. That's gonna be so cute. But it's gonna be funny too. Especially with you being shy to do it. That's gonna be so funny. I bet you that's gonna make you go viral. Okay, guys, I'm almost finished up. Um, let's talk about money without burnout. Earn smarter, not harder. Set money goals that align with peace. And that's what I need to do for myself. I spent way too much money this year. I burned through thousands of dollars, and your girl is now on a self imposed punishment. And I don't feel bad about it because I bought too much stuff. I bought lots of shoes, lots of clothes. I bought lots of things. We went lots of places. And I spent lots of money at restaurants. One time I spent $400 at the Cheesecake Factory. What kind of BS is that? And for to somebody else, that might be like, $400 is nothing. For me, $400 was a lot of money to spend at the Cheesecake Factory on how many people? 5 people? All that doggone cheesecake. We didn't eat all that cheesecake. And then I turned around and spent uh, another few $100s on somebody else for a lunch. No, no, I'm not rich. I'm I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom and a grandma. I'm po. Okay? So anyway, let me be serious. But for real, I need to live on a budget. I need to have a budget for my household. I need to have a budget for vacations. I need to have a budget for business investments, right? And I need to have a budget, especially for me and the bars, because the bars want to get hair weaves. I like to keep my hair braided. And I don't know if you know, but that hair at the hair store is ridiculous. Just for the hair in gel could run me $80 or to $100 just for me. Times that times 4 people because I have myself and my 3 barbs. So, and then plus I pay my daughter to do my hair. She's taking her time to do it, so she has to be paid for that. That's how she generates income for herself by braiding hair. So just because I'm her mom, I still pay her, and if she does it really good, I tip her really good. So yeah, that's a lot of cheesecake. I think I only had one piece of cheesecake. You can never travel too much, Jazzy. You can never travel too much. I don't know though. I don't know what your budget is looking like, but um, if you like to travel, if that's something that you like to do. I know you work from home, so traveling for you may be your way of breaking up the monotony. Um, I'm scary to get on planes, or else I would be right with you, Jazzy. But I promised my kids we would this year. So I'm going to do it. I promised them we would, and we are definitely going to do it. But once I get my wings and I get going, I plan to travel 4 or 5 times a year myself. I want to travel right now. I got all these ideas about where I want to go and what I want to do. And I can't do it um, being anxious about flying, right? But if you work from home, you should be able to do that. That's why I was asking you, I think, Jazzy, if you could do your work from anywhere. And that's why I like being a content creator and an author and a self-publishing consultant and a this and a that and a that and a this, because I want to live a life where I can do it from anywhere I am in the world. As long as I have a laptop and Wi-Fi and I wake up, I can do it wherever I'm at, right? My dream has always been to backpack around the world with my kids writing books. So my content creation, it needs to get better, and I need to make more money from that so that I can be able to support me and my children anywhere on this planet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to stop. You know, I think traveling is one of the best ways we can connect with God as well, because we can see all of the things that He created. We get to meet different people and learn about different cultures, and we also get to learn more about who we are and how we fit into this world. And I think it's just the most amazing gift that God has given us, the ability to be able to fly on planes and connect with one another and travel. I think that's so awesome. So I don't want to say I envy anybody who does that, but I do feel like, you need to get out there and you need to expand your horizons. That's something that, let me just say that to anybody that is listening now or on the replay: travel. Depending on where you want to go, it's not that expensive. And you can find a way to travel if you're a content creator, especially filming when you go, like taking some time to talk about your experience when you're traveling, the onboarding process, what it's like to be on a plane. For people who have never been on a plane or who are anxious about getting on a plane, that whole experience will help to ease them into doing it. So I don't know if anybody is comfortable with doing that, but whatever you are comfortable with sharing, do that. Write travel blogs. There's all kinds of ways that you can finance the things that you want to do. Save up your can, save up your change. But if you can and you want to get on the plane and go somewhere, I recommend that you do it. And don't wait for others to do it with you. Go out and meet friends, join travel groups. They have groups where they'll take you on different to different destinations. I remember my friends from work, they would go with this group. They would pay on their travel, and they would go with the whole group, and they would take them like on a tour, on a European tour. They would go to Italy, to Spain, I think France. They would go to all those European hot destination spots. So you don't even have to worry about going alone. Traveling is like when you get a tattoo, you keep getting them. You start traveling, you can't stop. I feel like that's how it would be for me, Yo Yo. Yes, if you wait for people, you will never go. Absolutely. Especially if you wait on somebody like me, because I'm going to say I'm going to go, and then last minute I'm going to be like, My sister likes to travel, and she's always like, come on, Charity, let's go. And I always make an excuse not to go. And my mom likes to travel, but my mom likes to travel by car. And I'm like, lady, I'll get on a plane first. I'm not traveling in a car. I hate long car rides as well, but yeah, my family travels. Everybody travels. I'm the only one that don't go anywhere. So, and I don't want my children to not have those experiences of traveling. So, like I said, we've been places, but not enough, right? And I don't trust anybody else to take them, so I got to do it. So, um, be smart with your budget, travel, and wait. I just gave you ways that you can monetize your life, and even if you, like I said, you might not want to get on social media, but perhaps you can bake. Um, if you're already at home with kids, perhaps you can take in an extra kid or two. I know it's a lot, but that's a way that you can make extra money to supplement your income. And you could either save that money and invest it when you make extra money, or you can use it for things that you want to do, such as traveling, getting your hair done, getting your nails done. All throughout the year, I'm constantly thinking of ways that I can supplement my regular income, because I have my regular income that does not change. And then I also have things that I do to make extra income. So when I don't make extra income, everything stops, right? That means that um, all of the extracurricular things that we like to do, all the shopping excursions, all of that comes to a halt and I get real po. So I like to always be able to do whatever it is I want to do. I like to have money at my disposal. I like to have a certain amount of money in my bank at all times. And if I don't, then I start feeling uncomfortable. And then I start thinking of ways that I can make money. So, um, and you don't want to burn out on that either. You want to have a budget already and you want to have a savings already so that if you want to take a break, you can. You don't ever. That's how I was a couple of years ago when I was staying at a job that had me feeling burnt out and stressed. I stayed and I harmed myself by staying longer because I felt like I can't, how am I going to replace this income? So when I finally did leave, I didn't have that income and I didn't have it replaced. So I was out on a limb. So if you can, think about that too. Don't spend all your money. Um, Put some in a sock drawer or something like that. Have you some mad money under your mattress. And I'm speaking in, I'm being flip, but really what I'm saying is have something just in case. Always have something just in case. I don't care if you're married. I don't care how much money you have. Always have a gold stash. Okay, don't ever be somewhere you don't want to be or with somebody you don't want to be or do something that you don't want to do because you don't have enough money. What is one thing you're letting go of this month so you feel less burdened? If anybody feels like they want to say that in the chat, um, I think I already let go of a lot of the things that I needed to let go of. But one thing I want to do is let go of, um, to be honest, past hurts. And that's a conscientious decision because it does come back. And I made this decision many times. But one thing that I want to let go of is past wrongs that I've done, that others have done to me. I want to let go of it and try to really focus on living for today. You know what, Jazzy? A road trip to Vegas, because I live very close to Vegas, is fine, but even that is a lot. Or a road trip, it has to be like 3 or 4 hours. Anything over that, then I get I get stir crazy. So yeah, that's what I'm giving up. And if, like I said, if you guys want to give up anything for the rest of the year for good, anything that's causing you stress or strife or just messing up your day. I remember years ago, I had my blog and I had work and I had my kids and I was in a master's program. And I remember I had to give up my blog because the blog was taking up a lot of my time and I was in a master's program and I had work and then I was married. So I had to give up something and my blog was, and I love my blog, but I just didn't have the time for it. So, we have 24 hours in a day, but when we take off sleep and we take off showering, we take off eating, that day becomes a lot like 1 hour, or it can feel like that. We have to think of things that we are doing that is monopolizing our time and that is actually preventing us from experiencing the joy that we really want to experience, right? And sometimes having joy could just be relaxing and not feeling like you're bogged down with a lot of things to do. I used to drive 12 hours from New York to South Carolina. That's a lot of hours. And that's a lot of states you're going through. See, the good thing about that is that you can actually go through a few different states and see different things and different people. If you're in California, you can drive 12 hours and still be in California. And if you want to get from California to Texas, shoot, that's a whole day's drive. So That's the kind of stuff my mom and my dad was doing. They were going from California, and they love it. They love going through Arizona, and they especially love Texas and those states like that. But they would get there to their destinations in like a day and a half or so, but they would be driving the whole time. Yeah, California is a big state, right? And Dallas, and Texas. Texas is another one of those big states that it's going to take you a day to travel from one place to the other. We got Arizona's close to us. We're like 6 hours from Arizona and like 4 hours um, from um, from Nevada. So that's not too bad. I know my daughter, she was driving from here to New Mexico. She was working a job, and that was 10 hours. I was like, girl, you going to drive that? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, girl, okay. So, yes, thank you all for joining me this morning. I appreciate you all. And the last thing I want to say to you is you don't have to hustle to prove your worth. Your rest, your peace, and your purpose are powerful. So please, again, like this live and share it if you feel so inclined. You was just in Arizona. They said LA was 6 hours away. Yeah. I wish you had told me we would have met up in LA or something, but you'll be back over here. You'll be back over this way. I already know it. I already feel it. I was thinking about like a meetup maybe next year if we make it to next year. And when I say make it, if we all still cool, because we'll all still be here. But next year, let's find a spot and let's all meet up there. Y'all come to Cali because y'all know I'm just no, but for real, I think it'll be somewhere cool, somewhere nice, somewhere pretty, somewhere fun where there's fun shopping, fine dining, nice hotels, and maybe do make a weekend of it. And everybody could, we could rent a block of hotel rooms, not rent, but reserve a block of hotel rooms, and everybody could plan for it. Like maybe next summer, I think that would be a good idea. But California would be a good place to meet. Um, well, there's a lot to do and see in California. You have the beaches, you have shopping. Um, there are restaurants here, but the type of restaurants here are the same. I think they have them everywhere. Um, there are certain places that you could go to, and you could go to LA Live. Um, there's lots of things you can see. There's lots of scenic places in Los Angeles. There's Hollywood. There's lots of different things to do here. If you wanted to come to California and visit. Um, California is definitely, I would say, California, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, um, Miami. Those are all destination places that I think most people would like to go to at least and visit once in a lifetime. But Los Angeles is definitely not what it used to be. I feel like the soul has left a little bit, and I think that you would have to specifically go to certain places, if you know what I mean, to get that. You're in Pasadena, Dana? I think you told me that before. No, somebody else told me they lived in Pasadena and they moved to Nevada. I think that's what they said because I know so many people who moved to Nevada or who moved to Arizona and Texas. So there was a big flight just before the pandemic, and especially around the pandemic. A lot of people left California. I didn't. I kind of want to sometimes, but um, California is home. I just want to visit other places and travel and then come back home. You have a cousin in Gardena? Jazzy, you have family everywhere. I've always wanted to go to New York to go to like a Broadway play. I've always said I was gonna do that, especially when I was younger. I really wanted to travel, um, and I wish I had a did it when I was younger because by now I would have gone and seen everything. But it's no time like the present. I'm gonna do it, and like I said, I'm going to do it really soon, especially since I'm retiring. I said once I retired, I wasn't gonna just not do something that I wanted to do. So once I retire and once that's all finished up, I'm gonna go somewhere and chill and sit down for a bit and enjoy myself. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I wish you all, not wish you all, I pray that you all have a blessed day. You guys are so deserving of that. You are deserving of good things. If you work hard, you deserve to play hard, okay? And don't work too hard. You should never work hard. You should never feel like all you're doing is working and exhausting yourself. You deserve to have uh, satisfactory life. Jesus said he came so that we can have life more abundantly. And what he meant by that is so that we could have peace, and we can have peace right here on earth. We can have the lives we want right here on earth. It's not a myth. It's not a dream. It's not something that I'm just trying to sell you. People live good lives every day, even when they have to work in an office, even when they're taking care of grandchildren. You have to love the life that you are living and take it one day at a time and not think about the things that you have missed out on or the opportunities that you didn't get. Be grateful for what you do have. And I'll leave you with this last thought. On 4th of July, my father told me, he said, Charity, I think the thing that people don't realize is that not being grateful for what they have is what causes people to lose. So we have to be grateful for what we have and where God has us right now, because although things could improve and get better, things could always be worse. So wherever we are today, let's take the time to be grateful for it and to thank God. We are all alive. We're on cell phones. We have Wi-Fi. You guys are listening to me on the phone, so that lets me know right there that we're all doing good in some way, even if we all have something that we may be dealing with. God bless you all and may God keep you all. And happy birthday again, Enoch. And Yo Yo, enjoy your day. And I want to see you eat that cake on live. What time are you going live? Anybody else going live today? Jazzy or I know Yo Yo. What time are you going live? Do you know? Mom of Three, if you're still in here. Um, Jazzy, I haven't been catching up with you live. I don't know if that's because you're out of town, but let me know so that I have some work to do, so I can do my work and listen to your lives while I work. And I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I've been eating too late, and that's not doing good for me. I need to eat like by 9, but I'm not really hungry since I've been doing this intermittent fasting stuff. Now I'm not hungry before 10 or 11. But I'm noticing though that I'm eating too late. I don't want to eat too early, and I also don't want to eat too late. I'm feeling snacky um, in the evening. Yo, yo, what time are you going live, hun? Before I end this live. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I don't know if I could see it on this other one. 3 or 4 Eastern. So that's probably going to be like 1 on my time. Oh, you left your tripod in South Carolina? Girl, I got a link. Go to my Amazon storefront. I got a link for a tripod. The tripod I use, I have two different ones. I have a tripod with a ring light, and then I also have like a selfie stick tripod that I use when I'm out in public in like 2 hours. Okay. All right. So I'll make sure I stay tuned for that. So yeah. Um yeah, get your tripod, girl. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you all for watching. Yo Yo will be going live to have her husband feed her birthday cake on live. So everybody make sure you go over to Yo Yo's page so you can say happy birthday. My link is in my profile. So yeah, you should see it on there if you want to check it out. I have a whole on my Amazon storefront. I think I have um a collection of things that for content creators. I need to add to it. I need to get to work. I really need to get to work and stop playing with the game because it's money to be made. There is money to be made. Let's get it. Bye, you guys. Bye. See you later.